This morning we have an awesome day planned, but boy is it going to be exhausting. We are going to take you into one of America's most dangerous cities, but we're going to show you the quirky side of it. I'm going to finish this coffee and then the adventure begins now. Today, we're headed into Detroit. It is definitely one of the cities that is portrayed as being very rough and crime-ridden. But today, we're going to be showing you the quirky side of Detroit. Not all those tourist attractions. We're going to be eating some delicious food, going to some pretty interesting places, and hopefully, you'll see Detroit in a different light after going on this adventure with us. So let's get going because we've got a lot of Detroit to explore. Hello, how are you? You've beat us here. You are so good at that. We are actually super hungry. We're gonna go inside and get some of the original square pizza from Detroit. Let's go.
I knew I was only going to get one meal in Motown. The one thing that came to mind was pizza. Buddy's Pizza is a legendary Motor City icon. They even claim to be the original Detroit-style square pizza that they baked in forged steel pans from the local automakers. Buddy's has been serving up this delicious pizza for over 75 years. I absolutely love these old iconic restaurants. As soon as you enter the restaurants, the decor and the overall aesthetic of the place takes you back to a bustling industrial city of yesteryear. The menu was extensive. We ordered a medium Caesar salad and the Super 6 Mile pizza. The salad was plenty for two. It was surprisingly good. I didn't have much expectations with the salad, but I was very pleased. I again really didn't know what to expect or have any kind of expectations. This pizza was fantastic. It was cooked perfectly with the right amount of cheese, toppings, and sauce.
I don't know, New York and Chicago, you better be worried because this pizza is delicious.
There are several Buddy's locations now spread all over Detroit and the surrounding area. We ate at the original Buddy's on 6 Mile in Detroit. Time was of the essence, so we had to hop back in the van and keep this adventure moving.
Our adventure is taking us out of the city and into the suburbs. Well, a mini mall to be exact.
Our next stop brings us about 20 miles outside of Detroit, sandwiched in between two shopping centers, Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. Let's go see what kind of quirk they have inside.
Marvin Yagoda spent 50 years collecting everything in this incredible 5,500 square foot arcade. There's so much to look at. One visit couldn't possibly be enough. It's truly a massive collection of off-the-wall decor, vintage pinball games, carnival rides, novelty games from the early 1900s, and even a food court. There was so much to take in, we knew the little time we have here today wouldn't be enough. We figured the best way would be to get some quarters and see what all these machines do.
Let's try this arcade out and play some games. All right, so this is the crane game. A little different than I've seen before. You put a quarter in, you have to twist this little knob. As soon as you stop, it drops. You have to see if you win a prize. Well, I really want the keychain, but I don't think I can get that. So close.
I think that's the shtick, is that you're so close and yet you never get it.
Yeah, probably so.
So this one, I guess you have to keep your hand right here. Let's see if I can do this. the arcade games, this one has always been my favorite. As we made our way around the arcade though, things started to get weirder and weirder and weirder. But none of them were anything compared to this one. This is the creepiest game I've ever seen in my life. The Spanish Inquisition. They're beating people. And then it got even weirder.
That's not the creepiest thing you've ever seen, but I don't know what to tell you.
I'm pretty sure this is the coolest arcade I have ever been to in my life.
Apparently Marvin trained this chicken to beat everyone at tic-tac-toe. I'm gonna try my luck.
Why'd you lose?
I didn't, we tied.
A chicken scratch game.
After his tie with the chicken, he tried his hand at the claw game again. And to no avail. He's not having much luck today.
I don't know if this one works right.
That's what they all say.
Apparently there's a traffic jam. I love the lady in the booth in the back. Oh.
Okay, we gotta get out of this section.
I'm not easily impressed. You guys know that. It takes something pretty cool to get me excited. That was freaking incredible. Like, I literally could have spent the entire day there just hanging out in the atmosphere and playing some awesome games. But the adventure must go on.
Our adventure continues to our next quirky Detroit spot, the Heidelberg Project. Tyree Guyton grew up in Detroit when it was booming. His house was in a growing middle-class neighborhood. But in 1967, when Guyton was 12, the effect of the Detroit riots, largely due to police discrimination, destroyed his neighborhood. When Guyton returned to the neighborhood as an adult after serving in the Army, it had only gotten worse. And in his words, it looked like a bomb went off. Oh, yeah, that's great. Is this not the coolest freaking place ever? I love all of the different art installations, how creative people were in order to turn something that was run down and dilapidated into something that people can come and enjoy. Let's keep looking. Tyree made it his mission to transform the neighborhood. He gathered up a bunch of local kids and went to work. When you walk through this neighborhood, you can't help but to smile and have some joy on your face, knowing all of the hard work and effort that they put into transforming something that was torn down and dilapidated. It really is a spectacular sight to behold and marvel at all of this amazing beauty.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what to think at this point.
But just like all the other stops on this adventure, it was time for us to get headed back to the van because more adventure awaits. On the way to our next stop, we ended up discovering something pretty spectacular. We found a ton of wall art and murals located right in downtown Detroit. I had no idea that Detroit was this cool. All of this art is amazing. It is filling my heart to see all of this art. So let's keep going because this is awesome. As we turned down each street in the market area, there was more and more beautiful murals. We couldn't believe it. They were gorgeous. What an incredible find right in the heart of Detroit. But we've got to get a move on so we can get to our next stop.
Alright, our next stop brings us just outside of downtown Detroit. What was the Packard Manufacturing plant. Packard's been out of business for quite a long time. Fun fact, it is said to be the largest abandoned factory in the world. It definitely looks abandoned, like there's no missing this building here. It's massive and it has seen better days, that's for sure. Wow, it's so expansive though. I could just imagine seeing the cars running through the assembly line here. That's pretty cool. The Packard Auto Manufacturing plant is said to be the largest abandoned factory in the world. This place is massive, boasting over 3.5 million square feet. In its heyday, this behemoth of a factory employed over 40,000 people. The factory turned out luxury Packard automobiles from 1903 to 1956, with the exception of World War II, where the factory was commissioned to produce wartime material. The factory's complex completely closed its doors in 1958. The city of Detroit has started and halted the demolition of this massive structure a couple of times over the last few decades. But there are no trespassing signs everywhere, so let's get back in the van and keep this adventure moving.
Now, our adventures are taking us west of Detroit, and we're going to a place that we don't think you'd really expect us to go. Our adventure has brought us to the 8 Mile Wall. It's a pretty significant wall, so let's check it out. The 8 Mile Wall has been here since the 30s. It was originally built to keep the black neighborhood separated from the white neighborhood. It was a process called redlining, where you could build a wall so that way you could keep neighborhoods predominantly white or predominantly black. The best part about this wall is the beautiful art that they've covered it with. It's so amazing to be able to see something so horrible and terrible in our history transformed into a thing of beauty. The 8 Mile Wall is a great reminder of how to preserve history without repeating it.
We've had an amazing day with you guys today. Detroit has been surprisingly awesome, but we've got some kids and some puppies to get home to and some dinner to make. So let's get back in that van and make our way there. All in all, Detroit was a really cool town to spend the day in, with plenty of quirkiness to go around. We all hear about the most dangerous or the roughest cities in America. While that may be true to an extent, a lot of it is the media putting fear into everyone's mind. Yes, no doubt, Detroit has its problems, and the last couple of decades has really played a toll on the overall poverty and downturn of the city. With all that being said, these places are still worth visiting. With common sense and awareness, there's no reason to avoid these great American cities.
All right, we made it back. What a great day in Detroit. I do know there are some puppies and some kids that we want to see, and they probably want to see us too. I hear some puppies. Oh, there's Lisa, and there's Eli and Katharina. So Ben, how was your day?
Good.
Eli, how was your day?
I've been sitting on my iPad for.
Where are you guys headed now?
I'm going to the fort.
Looks like Kyle has already started on dinner. He's gonna get that done. And with that, we're gonna get dinner cooked up, eat it, and probably go to bed, because today was exhausting. We surely had a great time with you coming to Detroit with us. We appreciate you more than you know. But right now, this adventure is over.